What do I think about halal music? There's no such thing as halal music, because anything that we associate with Islam, it have to be 100% pure. Islam is from Allah. Music, you have gangster music, you have all types of music, so you cannot even put them words together. You know what I mean? You cannot even put halal and music. That's like saying halal alcohol or something like that. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as halal music. I used to think that. And before I go, I'm going to explain something, because when we accept the religion of Islam, there's nothing that's more important than following and implementing the religion of Islam properly. I remember when I first became Muslim, and I used to hear that music was haram. And I used to really say to myself, anybody who tell me music is haram, I used to think they was crazy. I thought they was like extremists. I didn't even want to be around them. The first time I heard that music was haram is when I went to Hajj. Alhamdulillah, after I accepted the religion of Islam, maybe I would say about 2 months later, I was able to go to Hajj. And I met these brothers. I remember they was Pakistani Canadian brothers. It was from Toronto. And I met them in the lobby of my hotel, and when they asked me what do, I told them that I was a rapper, I do music, etc. And they was like, music is not permissible in Islam. And I thought them jokers was crazy. So after that, when these people told me music is not permissible, I said that these people are crazy, they majnoon, they extremists. I left. I didn't want to deal with them no more. I'm talking about to the point when I go back downstairs the next day to go eat my lunch or breakfast, when I see them, I go the opposite way. Because I used to say, man, these jokers are crazy. Anybody that say music is haram is crazy. This is what I used to think. As a rap artist, as a musician, as a person who made his living off of music instruments. Of a music industry, I mean. So then when I started to hear more about this, I said, let me go see what Islam says about music. So the more that I study Islam and music, the more that I came to realize that musical instruments isn't permissible in Islam, except for the duff, which is a drum type of instrument that the Prophet ﷺ allowed women to play in front of other women for Eid. We have hadith for the Prophet ﷺ allowed the slave girls to beat the duff for Aisha and sing, and it was allowed to do for Eid and weddings. So I had to tell myself, did I accept the religion of Islam because I know that this religion is the truth? Did I accept the religion of Islam because I know this is the way of life that Allah want me to follow and implement in my daily life? Or am I just playing with the religion of Islam? Or I'm going to try to follow my desires because I love music and I'm going to try to make an excuse to continue to do music? No. When I realized what Islam said about music, I said, you know what? I have to give this up, because if Islam says this is clear, then Allah knows what's best for me. And for example, when people say why is music is haram and stuff like that, musical instruments has a way it plays an effect on the brain and the heart. For example, Toronto University did a study, non-Muslims, they did a study, and they said that when a person listens to musical instrument, it releases a chemical in the brain called dopamine. The dopamine in the brain, the same chemical that's released when a person is doing hardcore drugs and other things. So it shows that musical instruments have can have an impact on the brain and on the heart. For example, they also found out that certain musical instruments can lead to depression. Like, for example, rock and roll music. A lot of them jokers be committing suicide. A lot of them be depressed. A lot of them be on drugs. A lot of them be on crazy. It's due to the sounds of the musical instrument. As a rap artist, as an ex-rap artist myself, wallahi, I used to listen to music, and from the sound of the music, from what I get from the musical instruments, it would lead me to what type of rap that I will write. For example, if the music was a dark sound, I would talk about murdering, I would talk about killing. For example, if it's a certain sound to the music, I would talk about women and things like that, to the point that people implement these things in their lives. In kufr, like for example, when I want to go do certain type of haram, I listen to certain type of music that put me in the mood to commit that haram. If I want to go to the nightclub, I listen to certain type of music that's going to motivate me. If I wanted to drink or smoke, I listen to certain type of music that's going to put me in the mood to go do that. So when you see why Islam says stay away from musical instrument, it's wisdom behind it. You understand? There's wisdom behind it, because nothing should expire, nothing should move us like the Quran. Nothing should have control over our mind, our hearts like Quran. You know what I mean? Quran is the speech of Allah. There's nothing better than listening to Quran. Music is not better than Quran. You understand? So when you see the effect, some people, for example, there's people that listen to music every day and wake up depressed. They don't even know why they're unhappy. They might not even know it's from the musical instruments. And these studies was conducted by non-Muslims. So when Islam told me to stay away from music, I had to say to myself, man, I accepted the religion of Islam because I know that this is the truth of my Lord. Even though all I know is music all my life, I'm not going to follow my desires and try to make an excuse because I want to make money or because I love something. No, if Islam tell me to stay away from this, I'm going to try my best to stay away from this. So if you slip and make a mistake, we ask Allah to forgive us. But at least we should do is search for the truth and try our best to follow it. And when we slip, we ask Allah to forgive us. You know what I mean? Music can put you in the mood to help poor. Also, Islam tell you all through the Quran to help the poor. You don't need music. you don't need music to help poor people. You understand? You don't need music. We don't need music to help poor people. And music, you can say it might make you in a good, but similar to what Allah says about alcohol and wine. Allah says that in alcohol, in wine and khamr, there's some benefit in it. But the harm outweighs the good, so refrain from it altogether. Because some people might say drinking wine might have some good effect, but Allah says there is some benefit in it. But the harm outweighs the good, so it's best to refrain from it. The same with some music you talking about, you know what I mean? Is we shouldn't want nothing to motivate us or have control over our hearts and our mind. It should be Quran. It should be the speech of Allah.